So today I had a very weird thing happen. I was working on a golf cart, and I'll show you the type of golf cart I was working on. It was similar to this. It's a 36 volt easy go. And I didn't know what was wrong with it. I'm using this one as an example because it's pretty much identical to the other one that I was using. And the customer had already made some attempts to work on it. And as many of you guys know, that's always a mechanic's worst nightmare. Mechanic starts when someone thinks they are a mechanic and starts trying to work on something. So he had begun trying to diagnose it. He had put a new speed controller in it. He had moved some wires around. He had cut some wires. This is a nightmare. Like, if you don't know how to work on these things, don't even attempt to, because all you do is make my job down the road that much harder. So he brought it to me, and I couldn't figure it out. So with golf carts, in order to test them, you have to use a process of elimination. And usually you start by checking the most simple things. The most simple things are the wire terminals. Just check these terminals. I would say that would be the very first thing to check. Just make sure all of your wire terminals are good. In this case, I have this one disconnected for demonstration purposes, but you just want to make sure all of these are tight. And after that, use a multimeter and just see if you have the proper voltage on these batteries. In this case, these batteries should be 6.3. You can have probably down to 5.9 and still probably be in the okay territory, but you want to see as close to 6 volts as possible. So after you've checked the wires and after you've checked the battery, everything still isn't working, I would say maybe the third component to check is this solenoid. If you don't know how to check the solenoid, you can just replace it. It's a wear item. It's going to go bad one day. You can put a new one in there. They are relatively inexpensive. Maybe 60 bucks. Put a new one in there. You might even find one for 30 bucks. Put a new one in there. If that still doesn't fix the problem, go up here to the key switch. I didn't remove the key switch. The customer has removed this key switch. Come up here, and you can take these two. There could be a snap pin in there, some push pins, and maybe some bolts, maybe some rivets. Remove the key switch panel and find the two wires that are on the key switch, and you can just make a connection. Just bring them together. That's all the key switch does on this particular golf cart, is makes a connection. Key switches are very rarely bad, but that does eliminate that. If it still doesn't work, in this case right here, this one uses a mechanical forward and reverse switch. He'll use a toggle switch, which I don't have, but the toggle switch looks very similar to this, but it's a forward and reverse switch, and it's a little bigger than that. You can, if I remember the colors right, it's orange, black, or I think it's orange, gray, and green. And so it switches those around. It switches the continuity between the one at the top, the one in the side, the one in the side, one in the middle. So those just switch around. You can replace that switch if you want to. And if it still doesn't work, you can do a motor test, and I actually have a video where I tell you how to test the motor. But just for the sake of brevity, you want to run, my camera's not focusing, you want to run a wire from here to there. It doesn't matter, you can run from here. You see where my finger is? That's A2. Run from A2 to S1. You can also run from S2 to A1. It doesn't matter. You want to be diagonal though, from here to there or from there to there. Doesn't really matter. And then you can connect a 12-volt jumper box to the other two. So if you ran your terminal from here to here, you want to connect your jumper box from there to there. And it doesn't matter polarity. It can be negative, positive, doesn't matter. The motor should run. It'll just run slow. You want to lift the rear end up, get the wheels up off the floor. It should run. That tells you your motor is good. So this is the process of elimination that I am telling you about. So that's kind of the steps you want to take. Thing I want to talk about, this proximity sensor that's in the plug in the charging port. All it does is you'll see a red wire travels along this harness, and really all it does is it goes back up to the positive post. If you have any doubt about it, most of them have a connector here. This one someone has made a permanent connector, but you can disconnect that connector right there. It should be like a female spade or terminal. You can get another wire, run it over here, run it to the positive of the battery, along with the wire that's in here. So you can take this end of the wire, not this end of the wire, but this end of the wire. You can run it to the positive over here on the battery. Still doesn't work. You have some foot pedal controls over here. And I'm not going to get into a lot of detail with this, but you will lift the floorboard up. There's a foot pedal control in here. Let's remove that panel. There's another panel here. I'm not going to get this up. Let me grab a screwdriver. Didn't intend to go through all of this. Let me just say that there's a micro switch in there. And it's pretty simple. It's only 2 wires on that micro switch, so you can short those 2, and you should try to run. And then there's a what they call an ITS. It's an inductive throttle sensor, and those rarely go bad, but they do go bad. So you can replace that too if you want it. If you don't know how to test it, just replace it. It's only, I think that thing's only like $15 or $20. If it still doesn't run, then it's. Let's move over here to the speed controller. Here's the speed controller. There's almost no way to test that from a layperson perspective. You can't test that. You don't have the tools it takes to test that. It really has to be bench tested. So once you have completed this process of elimination, then you can safely assume that the controller most likely is bad. You obviously, there's more things that can be bad, like the wire harness can be broke, so just look under the bottom, make sure a stick hasn't like shot up and intruded in somewhere under the undercarriage and like broken some wires. So you want to get underneath the golf cart, just make sure any wires underneath are fine. You want to check the wheel, demonstrate that. Up here in the wheel well, you can see, and it's going to be a bit dark because I don't have a camera that's capable of low light conditions, but there's a wire and harness that goes up here. Just make sure there's no breach in any of these wires. Here we go. We're going underneath the golf cart. Just check this. You know, sometimes I see these wires dangling down, and the customers have been traveling through brush and shrubbery, and something has caught a wire. Yeah, so just check all of that, but then you come down to the speed controller. So anyway, I did this process of elimination. My process of elimination probably is a little more in-depth than what I'm showing you here in this brief video. But after I had done all of that, I came to the conclusion that both the motor and the speed controller were bad. So I call the customer up and I tell them, look, both your motor and your speed controller is bad. The motor starts at about $600. It's a bulky item. You're going to have some shipping on that. You're going to need another speed controller. Those are anywhere from like $150 to $300, maybe $400, depending on whether you want to upgrade it from the factory setting of, I think it's only, the one he had, I think was 200 amps. He was like, well, the motor runs with the old controller. I don't believe the motor is bad. I put another controller in there and the motor ran. And this is always a nightmare as a tech, when you tell somebody this is what's wrong, and then they say, well, that's not what's wrong. I don't think that's what's wrong. And I understand he did put another controller in there and the motor does run, and I was even able to get the motor to run, but I think that motor still was internally shorted. And if you don't understand anything about series or shunt wound motors, I think the coil, the armature inside of it, I think was fine, but I think the commutator was shorted. And so the field winding is what I mean. It was something was going on with that field winding, and it may not have been entirely shorted, but I think it was drawing way too many amps, and it was creating a short. It was shorting out the controller, and so the controller had been burnt up. So anyway, he was like, well, I'm just going to pick it up, because I don't think he really trusts my assessment. And he's like, how much do I owe you? And I'm like, $200. He's like, $200 just to diagnose it? Like, why is it so much? And I'm like, I had to spend multiple hours going through all of your wiring harnesses, all of your batteries, charging your car, pulling the part of the instrument panel out, replacing the key switch, replacing the solenoid. I did this extensive process of elimination. And now I'm telling you, you have to spend, over $1,000 to replace these components. I don't want to tell you that lightly without me extensively and with a level of surety, knowing that these components are bad. So I think he was just frustrated, and I understand it when you have been tinkering with it yourself. You've spent countless hours on it yourself. He had even replaced the speed controller with another speed controller, but he didn't know how to wire it correctly. So I think that ruined that speed controller. So there was some pent up frustration when he brought it to me. And then I give him somewhat like bad news, like the worst news he can get, that he's got to spend a lot more. And I think he was just like frustrated. And so he takes this frustration out on me. And while I was speaking to him, he was like, hold on. And then he hung up. I thought he was angry at me and upset. And I was like, oh man, he just kind of hung up on me. So I texted him. I was like, hey, I think we lost a call. What happened? He never texted me back. At the very end, he starts saying, hold on. You know what? I'm just going to come Monday and come pick it up. I'll come Monday and pick it up. And he just hung up. And I was like, whoa, why did he do that? That was just such rash behavior. Like, typically my customers are, they don't act that way. It just seemed really rash. And so I texted him. He didn't respond. I tried to call him. He didn't answer. I waited like 30 minutes, tried to call him back, still didn't answer. I'm like, wow, I think that guy's really irritated with me. And so I waited. Here it is Monday. He pulls into the shop. He doesn't call before he comes or anything. And he gets out his truck and he just walks toward me. And his face is red. And it looks like he's been crying. And I'm like, I don't know what to say to this guy. Like, I know it's $200, but $200 in today's currency is not like this grandiose amount of money. Like, why is he so frustrated? And so we pushed the golf cart on his trailer. And I'm like, he looks really down. Like, and I start trying to like explain to him again what had happened. And he was like, yeah, I understand. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I had to diagnose all of this. I think this controller's bad. This motor's bad. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, wow, I really can't cheer this guy up. Like, what can I say? Like, I want a good relation with my customer. And then after we pushed it on the trailer, he just turned to me and he was like, my daughter died the day that you called me. And I'm like, what? He was like, while we were on the phone, I was getting a call and I knew I had to take the call. So that's why I kind of abruptly hung up. And I was told that they had just found my daughter on the floor dead. And so that's why I didn't call you back. That's why I didn't respond to any of your text messages. I was in LJ and I had to like rush home. And my whole weekend has been just completely crushed. I was actually on my wedding anniversary with my wife. And while we were on our wedding anniversary, I get this horrible call that my 29-year-old daughter is found dead on the floor. And so that's why he didn't call me back. That's why he had looked like he had been lamenting. And it was like, all this time I was thinking he was mad at me, upset at me, just upset that he had to spend $200. But that wasn't it at all. Like, he paid $200. He didn't even mention that. It was not even a problem. But I didn't even want to charge him at this. I was, in the process of accepting his credit card, and he was telling me all this, and I was just like, wow, oh, okay. And I was sort of like, dude, I didn't even want to charge the guy. And he was supposed to pay me $250, and I was like, just do $200. Like, I knocked it $50 off. And so it was just, I don't know. I just felt really bad. I was like, and then he told me she had a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old that was orphaned because she was a single mom. And so it hit me really hard. Even now I'm like, man, I shouldn't even charge him anything at all. At the same time, he seemed like he was a well-off guy. He didn't look like a, guy of poverty or anything. But it was really tough. Like, you just don't never know what people are going through. Sometimes people seem rude. In fact, I was driving in North Georgia earlier this week, and this woman was like, the red light had turned green, and she wasn't going. And then she started going, then she stopped, and I kind of like tapped the horn, and she just got really mad at me and everything. And moved over and let me go around her, and then she started riding my bumper and blowing her horn, and I was like, I shouldn't have done that, but she just like, I mean, all I did is just tap my horn. That's all I did, and she just like blew it. Now she might have been having the most awful day, and now here this guy is behind her tapping his horn, and she just completely lost it. But she might have been having a bad day. I don't know what was going on. So just trying to encourage some more. I mean, who am I to encourage everyone to be nice when, I wasn't nice either by tapping the horn, I guess. But if it means anything, I had no idea that this guy, when he came and picked his golf cart up, would give me such a tragic story. His 29-year-old daughter, who had just moved in, and I don't want to dispel too many details here, but I don't want to divulge too many details. But his 29-year-old daughter had just moved in with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is who found her on the floor. So I think there's an autopsy being done, and I was like, "Did you trust this boyfriend?" And he was like, "Yeah, I trust. He was good. Like it wasn't nothing him." So she didn't have any pre-existing conditions that they know of. It was just tragic. I mean, and I'm just like, man, I it shook my day. It really shook my day. Particularly since I still charged him something, because he was telling me this while I was processing his credit card, and I did say, well, not 50 off, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't have charged him at all. But again, he wasn't a poor guy. He wasn't, by no means. I think I can say that. Obviously, you never know what someone really has, but it didn't come across that way to me. He didn't ask for a discount. He didn't ask for any help. But I did tell him, look, dude, I know I'm just a business guy, worked on your golf cart, but feel free to reach out to me any kind of way I can help you. And he was just like, thank you. Like he was really, really perturbed. Like he couldn't even look up. And, it just really hit me hard. And, I don't have a child. I once tried fostering a child. I'm not a parent, but I don't know what it's like to lose your child. Like that is, in particularly in such a dubious circumstance. So, that's all I can say, guys. That's how my day went. Good luck out there diagnosing these golf carts. I'll just tell, even though I make these videos and I kind of like demonstrate different techniques about how to diagnose, ultimately I urge you to take it to an expert if you have no electrical training and background, because they're not simple. You can get injured, you can get hurt, you can set your house on fire, you can blow up a battery. You can just cost yourself a boatload of money that you didn't have to cost yourself. You could have just taken it to a technician and it would have been a lot less. So, ultimately, if you have no electrical experience, you can have all the mechanical experience if you want. If you have no electrical experience, you don't understand electricity, you don't have a basic level of understanding of wires, electronics, resistors, inductors, motors. If you don't understand those things, I would just highly encourage you to, form a good relationship with a trusted mechanic and just take it to him and just pay the price he asks, because this is a tough job. It's really, really tough. And I know there's mechanics out there scheming and taking advantage of people, but overall, it's not something you get wealthy off of. And it's really tough work. And it's actually 8:30 at night right now, and I'm still over here at the shop. I've been here since 8 this morning. It's a really tough job. I have to work incredibly long hours. I'm not asking for pity, but just understand this is really tough work, guys. And this guy's situation this morning was just like, I had put all this time in this golf cart. I put way more than $200 worth of time. Like I had stripped the wiring harness and everything because he told me the controller was new, but it apparently had burned the new controller up. But that's kind of how this is. Like it's gonna be really tough, particularly when you have to bear bad news to someone, and you're bearing bad news to someone who already has received the worst possible news. Like it was just a double whammy for him. So not only is my golf cart down, but my daughter's dead. Like what? Can you even talk about those in the same sentence? So Anyway, if you have any questions, please send me a DM. I can't help all of you. I'm so busy. But hit subscribe. It does help me. And I'll be making a new video soon. Have a great day.